I hope that you all enjoyed your dinner, the conversations at your tables, and the slideshow highlighting the alumni we will recognize this evening. Please feel free to continue eating as we move on with the program. Please join me in welcoming to the stage for a few remarks our Vice President for Advancement, Floyd Akins.
Thank you, Billy. TOL. Come on, y'all. TOL. All right. So, as Billy shared with you, I'm Vice President for Advancement here, which means I oversee fundraising and alumni engagement here at the university. And when I see a crowd like this, it always brings back a lot of stories. And please bear with me if you haven't heard this one. It was about a plane that was a charter flight of about 16 people that had gone down in a deserted island. Everyone was fine. Communications had gone out, so the pilots were working on it, and all of the passengers, they started getting out, and they were looking for food and shelter, and they thought they would probably be there overnight, and so they were looking for wood for fire. But there was one woman who was just sunbathing, and people couldn't figure out, why she was sunbathing. So they go up to her, and they say, "Look, we could use your help. How come you're not helping?" She says, "Well, when I'm an entrepreneur, and when I made my first million, I endowed a scholarship at my alma mater." And she said, "I've continued to be successful, and I have acquired more resources, and I provided my alma mater more resources and investment." She said, "A month ago, I was at my alma mater, and I decided I was going to put my name on a building because I'm a multimillionaire." She said, "Don't worry, they'll find us." And yes, I do write my own material. Congratulations to the distinguished alumni that are being honored this evening. Last year was my first time attending this event, and it was inspiring to hear so many stories of success from our alumni. I've been looking forward to this evening all year, and I'm excited that we can get together and celebrate. I am proud to be part of an institution where we have such a strong alumni support. You demonstrated through your philanthropic investment, attending our athletic events, and by wearing your Toledo gear in your communities. I've been fortunate to have had the opportunity to meet many of you that are here this evening, and many other alumni who have shared their stories with me. The pride that you have for our institution is remarkable. In the coming months, you will hear from us regarding our campaign to reimagine the University of Toledo, and we look forward to working with each of you to help move our institution forward. And one other thing I want to mention, I just shared this with a couple out in the audience. Coming here just 18 months ago, many of you have put your arms around me, welcoming me into this community, to this university, but the Toledo community, and I so much appreciate it. One other thing that I do want to also say is, although I oversee both fundraising and alumni engagement, there's two goals, there's two accomplishments that we need to hit before we get to raising money. First, recruiting students. Second, graduating students. So here's the challenge for all of you today, and believe it or not, this is going to be the only time I will not ask you for money. So you're going to love this. I want each of you to recruit a student for us next year. One student, each alumni, each person. I'm proud. My niece called me up from Memphis and said she wants to come to look at the University of Toledo because she wanted to get out of Tennessee, and I said, "Come on down." And so my friends over at the College of Business putting something together for her, and we're going to welcome her to the campus. That's what we need. So if you could do that, one student, that's all I'm asking, for each of us to bring one student to this university next year. Congratulations again to distinguished alumni who are being honored this evening. You're shining examples of the impact that university is having on Toledo community and around the world. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Floyd. I appreciate your support for the work we do in alumni engagement and annual giving, as well as your leadership for our advancement efforts. I would now like to introduce to you the president of our Alumni Association Board of Trustees. He earned his bachelor's degree in 2004 from the College of Business. He is the former owner of Bassett Nut Company, current owner of Cookie Cutters Haircuts for Kids, and is the area president for Focus CFO, an organization that empowers business owners with sound financial management, forward-thinking insights and tools, and proactive financial strategies. Please welcome Mr. Jeff Williams.
Good evening, everyone. I am grateful for the opportunity to join all of you in celebrating several of our amazing alumni tonight. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for your support for our Alumni Association as we continually develop and implement strategies to keep alumni connected to each other and to the university. Many of you are annual and lifetime members of the association, as well as donors, and it's that commitment that allows us to continue to do the work we do. Last year, the Alumni Association and its affiliates executed 187 events for alumni and the retirees. The pace of engagement just exceeded what we were doing prior to the pandemic. Your membership and philanthropy directly helped us subsidize much of what we offer to our alumni, so that cost is not a barrier to participation. Additionally, your support allowed us to award in excess of $75,000 in scholarships to current UT students. Your membership matters to us, and it matters to the future of our students. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow at the parade and at the pregame party at the Kester Alumni Pavilion, which begins at noon. Thank you for being here with us tonight, and please enjoy the evening. Go Rockets!
Thank you, Jeff. And now for our keynote speaker. As the winningest coach in University of Toledo women's basketball history, she has transformed the program into a nationally recognized powerhouse, but her greatest achievement is developing well-rounded, whole people. She proves that by leading with empathy and holistic growth, teams succeed both on and off the court. Under her leadership, Toledo has made 10 trips to the postseason and has won 7 championships, including a postseason WNIT title in 2011, MAC tournament champions in 2017 and 23, and 4 MAC regular season championships, including the last 2 seasons. She's been named MAC Coach of the Year 5 times, in 2009, 2011, 2013, 2022, and 2023. In the 2023 season, she led her Rockets to a 29-5 overall record and 16-2 MAC record, tying the school record for most wins in a season. Toledo beat 2 nationally ranked teams, number 14 Michigan and number 20 Iowa State, while advancing to the second round of the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1996. Her teams have finished in the top 30 in the country in attendance 10 out of the past 11 seasons and have led MAC in attendance since she set foot on campus. Most importantly, her teams boast a 100% graduation rate over the past 15 seasons. And last year's team collectively posted a 3.58 GPA. The next voice you will hear from this podium will be that of our head basketball coach and my friend, Trisha Cullop.
As you probably know, our Rockets won an incredible 6 Mid-American Conference championships this past season, twice as many as we've ever won in any single season. We won league championships in football, men's basketball, women's cross country, men's tennis, and women's tennis, becoming the first and only school in the history of any major conference to win league titles in these sports. Our football team won the MAC championship game and a bowl game for the first time in 21 years. Women's basketball not only won the MAC tournament crown, but went on to upset the number 5 seed and Big 12 champion Iowa State in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Men's basketball became the first current MAC school to win 3 consecutive titles, wrapping an unbelievable streak by Todd Qualtrick's amazing program. We had student athletes win MAC Player of the Year, as well as 5 MAC Coach of the Year honorees. The list goes on, but it goes without saying that we're incredibly proud of the effort of all of our student athletes and coaches and the staff members who support them. I should also mention that it's been a historic season for our Rockets in the classroom as well. Our student athletes established a record grade point average of 3.401 in the fall semester, then topped it in the spring with a 3.472 GPA. That's not common for a department with nearly 400 student athletes, but has become the standard here at Toledo. Those are impressive numbers because it speaks to the holistic commitment of our department, and it leads to what we believe matters most, that every student athlete must earn a meaningful degree during their time at Toledo. This past academic year, we celebrated the graduation of 72 Rockets. There's no prouder moment for me than our student athletes walking across the commitment stage at Saevig Arena and joining the ranks of graduates of this great university. Support from the campus and community is vital for us to grow and thrive as a department. That's why we talk so much about Team Toledo. Team Toledo is about everyone in our community locking arms, working together, and celebrate all the things that make the Toledo area such a fantastic place to live, work, and play. That's why I've made it a priority for our teams and staff to become more involved in the community and volunteer activities that help us all.
So I still get chills when I watch what all of our teams accomplished. You know, Billy Pierce asked me to come up here today to talk to you about women's basketball. And I couldn't talk about just women's basketball. When you look at all the things that our athletic department accomplished in the past year, it's unbelievable. And first of all, let's give a big hand to our leader, and that's Brian Blair. Brian, please stand up. And I want to slip in that it is Jenna Blair's birthday, and she's here. So happy birthday, Jenna. So in addition to everything that you heard up here today, there's a little bit more that's happened since then. So I'm going to share that with you really quickly. Our department won the prestigious Cartwright Award for the second straight year. The Cartwright Award honors the top department in the MAC for excellence in academics, athletics, and citizenship. We also won the second consecutive Reese Award for the top men's athletic department in the MAC. We won the MAC Institutional Academic Award, posting a school record 3.437 GPA, making the 7th time in the past 12 seasons, or 12 years, I'm talking basketball, that we have won that award. 7 out of 12. That's unbelievable. Last season and last year, our student athletes put in 1,100 hours of community service. And finally, men's basketball, women's basketball, and football all led the Mid-American Conference in attendance. So we have so much to be proud of. And we are doing our best to represent you with class. In the field, or on the field, in the classroom, on the court, you name it, in the community, we want to be your ambassadors, just as many of you have done. So again, I've been coaching over 30 years. I won't tell you how many because I'm getting up there. But I will tell you that in my start of my 16th year here at Toledo, I've never seen success like this. It is unprecedented. So I'm so proud of my colleagues, our teams, my team, and I hope that you'll come out and watch us. I hope you'll be there at the football game tomorrow because our football team is off to an incredible start, but basketball season's coming, and you know I'm going to be taking attendance. So you better be there, okay? By the way, pay attention, or there's an area we can run right here, okay? I joked with Billy Pierce when he invited me today. I said, this is a lame way to get me to wear a dress. And he said, Tricia, I've never seen you in one. I said, well, you better pay attention because tomorrow I'm right back to sweats. But I will tell you, it gave me an opportunity to do one of my favorite pastimes, walk through the petite section and act like I'm going to try something on. So, again, you know, the great thing, I will tell you, they about break into hives when I hold up something. I'm like, what do you think? The great thing about the success of our athletic teams is we helped elevate the UToledo brand. And I want to talk about that just for a second because the phrase Toledo Rockets generated $4 million worth of advertising for the University of Toledo. That number goes up significantly when you talk about other terms like Glass Bowl. Glass Bowl generated in 2022 $2 million, okay? 2 million hits. And so when you look at our $2 million worth of advertising, when you look at what our athletic department is generating for the university in terms of, you know, success, and that doesn't even include what men's and women's basketball did. So when you add that in and you loop it in, it is a great way for all of us to continue to recruit, retain students, athletes, to keep our alums engaged and also generate more fans. But in addition to that, Men's basketball, women's basketball, and football were on ESPN over 50,000 hours, where over 3.5 million viewers watched. They watched us, and that is you included. And I hope all of that makes you proud when you turn on the television, when you read us in the newspaper, and that's not just in the or in the city of Toledo. We're talking about nationwide. So again, very, very proud of what happened. Now you know I'm going to talk about my team, so buckle up, okay? Our women's basketball team won the MAC regular season tournament. We beat 2 ranked teams, as we stated earlier. I will tell you that I had just watched the Big 12 finish their tournament. And many of you may know Bill Finley, who used to be here, who I admire greatly, okay? So I had just texted he and his staff. He has LaToya Shaban on his staff, who is a MAC Player of the Year. You know, Jody Steyer, who's a former assistant coach here. His son was born here, Billy, who's on staff. I texted him and said, hey, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And then 20 minutes later, we drew them in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And I said, well, it looks like I'll see you soon. And I couldn't have been more proud of our troops for winning. But I will say, in true Toledo fashion, he couldn't have handled it with better grace. In humbly talking about how proud of our team he was. And I'm just so proud to call him a friend. So classy act, but again, it was a job. And we knew we had to go in, and you forget the friendships. All right? And then we had to face Tennessee next, which is a very tall task. But I tell you, it was incredible to be in Knoxville, standing where Pat Summitt, who I greatly admire, stood, and get a chance for our players to go to the Basketball Hall of Fame and to learn about the history. We walked up to the statue. Our players had a chance to meet a former player who told us stories about Pat Summitt, and what a great experience that was for all of them, to continue to grow and learn. We also learned that her stare put the fear of God in her, okay? So that was pretty awesome. But I will say, in addition to all those things you heard, I think finishing 24th in the country in attendance is unbelievable. We've been so close, top 30, 10 out of the last 11 years. But to finally break into the top 25, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet because all of you are coming to our games, okay? So bring your friends. As I said before, this year was one for the memory books. Men's and women's basketball. So men won their 3rd straight championship. You know, we were on our way to winning several games in a row, but we never felt like we'd accomplished too much because the men were always a few games ahead of us. So I told our men's team, thank you, because after we won 17 in a row, it didn't seem like there was any pressure because they were ahead of us the whole time. They've won 3 championships. My team thinks 2's not a lot. I'm glad, okay? I hope they win 4, and I hope 3 doesn't seem like too much because that's what we're chasing. But I will say this, and many of you may not know this. In the last 2 years, men's and women's basketball on our campus have combined for 3rd in the country in total wins. That's an unbelievable stat. Talk about a happy basketball suite. There's a lot of excitement surrounding my team this year. We returned the MAC Player of the Year in Quenisha Lockett. And in today's day, when NIL is floating around and dollars are flowing, for her to have loyalty to this university and come back for her 5th year is unbelievable. And we're really, really pleased to have her back. If she is MAC Player of the Year this year, she will be only the 3rd player in school history to do it twice. And she is an unbelievable kid who represents you with much class. We return all 5 of our starters, okay? All 5 of our starters means I feel a lot better and we'll have less gray hair, hopefully, okay? Now, I will tell you, everybody says, how's the season going? I go, well, we're undefeated right now. We haven't had a game yet. We're happy to say that. But we start soon. And, again, we will have one of the toughest non-conference schedules to date. So we have Michigan coming here. I know we have one of our distinguished alums works at Michigan. Raise your hand. Where are you? Yeah. Just one game. We're Toledo, right? We're Toledo. I'll get you a ticket, okay? So, again, it has been unbelievable watching these players grow, watching them stay together, watching the team chemistry that they showed, and persevering. But the rest of the schedule is Michigan, okay, at home. We need you there, by the way, okay? Cincinnati at home. We go to Duke. If any of you know some alums out that way, let us know. We want to be the Toledo Crazies, okay, so the Cameron Crazies. And then we go to Gonzaga, and then we have SMU, okay, and we have JMU on the road. So it's not going to be easy. I may be more gray next time you see me, okay? But I'm feeling pretty good because I'm going to pass out all the referee names tonight for the season. And I know you're going to be there with me, Last week, I had the honor of watching one of our former alums be inducted into the Rocket Hall of Fame, Angela Dortch. What you don't know, and this is what sports teaches us, this is what we learned through going through the rigors of a tough academic schedule, is here's a kid who was torn her ACL twice and then became not one, but two-time Defensive Player of the Year at the University of Toledo and helped us win a WNIT National Championship. So I'm extremely, extremely proud of her. She taught me a lot about perseverance. You know, everybody thinks the coach teaches all the lessons. Sometimes we learn it from the players by watching what they go through. And in saying that, I want to talk to you about one of my players who taught me probably the most since I've been here. And her name is Nama Shafir. Some of you may know that story. How many of you watched Nama Shafir play when she was here? Okay, great. So when I took the job, no one told me there wasn't a point guard on the team. Okay, thanks. Because that's like walking into a football team and not having a quarterback. So I called everywhere. Okay, my office was in the football suites because Saevig Arena was being renovated. I was excited about that. But every day I watched those workers and I stared at them because I wanted that arena to be done. But I will say, we called around everywhere. And I finally found someone that would be willing to come to Toledo. But what they told me was, she's different. You're going to have to understand that she can only eat kosher food. And they said, Tricia, do you understand what kosher is? And I said, sure, I have hot dogs and pickles all the time. And they said, no, can you Google this? So I Googled it. I'm like, wow, there's a lot to this. So I quickly learned that we were going to have to find a chef to make some meals for her when we were here. Then I learned that she was Orthodox, so she would not during the Sabbath be able to use electricity. She wouldn't be able to ride in a car, okay? And I thought, wow, I'm going to have to map this out. But I really need a point guard. That kept going back in my head. And everybody told me what a class act she was. So we took a chance on this young lady, and we mapped out her career. Her rabbi was kind. He said, games are fun. She can play on the Sabbath a game, but she cannot practice on the Sabbath. And I said, okay, I need a point guard. So she came, and our first game was in Hilo, Hawaii. Thank you very much to the previous coach, right? Hawaii's not a bad way to start out. We were getting ready to play Arizona. They had a 6'7" kid that was dunking in warm-ups. I told my team to turn around and look at me, okay? But we're in the pregame meal at the hotel, and I bring out the first kosher meal, and I said, hey, would you heat this up for my point guard? And the waitress said to me, I'm sorry, it's against our health code. And all I could think about was 4 more years of carrying these out and begging, right? So I walked over to the manager, and I said, hey, could you please help me out? I love this kid, and she's got to eat, and we have a big game today. You know, and Arizona's kind of staring at us and giving us the eye. And finally, the manager said, I will heat this up, but you have to go out in the lobby and eat. And so I said, you know what? We'll do that. So the meal came out. I tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, you know what? Nama, I'm really sorry, but you and I are going to go to the lobby, and we're going to eat. And our whole team got up. So our whole team walked to the lobby, but they were chanting something. And so I said to Nama, I said, what are they chanting? I'm like, I don't understand that. And she said, Coach, I taught him the Hebrew word for team yesterday. And so you have to understand, we're in the lobby eating, we're chanting, and Arizona thinks we're 2 cups of crazy. So we picked up our stuff, we brought it in, we played them later that day. You know, I got the kid dunking in warm-ups. Nama scores 25, and we win, and she has no idea if it is Appalachian State or Arizona, and we couldn't have been happier because we just beat a team we weren't supposed to beat. And she was the humblest kid, and then she walked back to the hotel about 1.5 miles because it was the Sabbath. Now, fast forward. We won the league, okay, that season. We win the league, her junior year. And we're excited. We think that we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. We can taste it. We're so close. Except we get upset in the semifinals of the conference tournament. But we know, because we won the regular season, we are guaranteed a spot in the WNIT. Not our first choice, but we were like, you know what? Let's refocus. So we have to play Delaware with Elena Deladon, who is a WNBA MVP. She scores 35, but we find a way to win in Saevig Arena, okay? Crowds are kind of sparse. The NCAA tournament's still going on. No one's paying attention. But then we play Auburn. We play Alabama, and we just keep winning. We play UNC Charlotte, and the crowds keep growing, okay? Last 2 games, we sell out Saevig Arena twice, and our championship game is against USC. It's a sold-out crowd. Looks like a concert in there. I mean, I've got chills walking out. Their whole team's a foot taller than us. That also gave me chills. But I will say, Nama Shafir was never scared. The little booger went on to score 40 points against USC, and then it was the Sabbath, so she dropped the mic and walked home because she couldn't do an interview. All the media had to come back the next day to interview this young lady who was the most talented, humble kid I've ever coached. But I tell you this story because I think just like Nama Shafir and her differences, embracing differences, cultural differences, religious differences, differences in background, that's what college did for all of us. And she just taught us on a bigger scale how to embrace those differences, how to treat people the same, how to make sure that we peel back the layers and we see that people underneath all those layers are the same. And she taught me more about life in that season and during those 5 years, because she got hurt, than any kids ever taught me in my program. Because she was so humble. She never complained about her kosher meal coming out late. You know? She never complained about walking at North Dakota when it was 40 below. A mile. My assistant took that hike. There's some perks to being a head coach. Okay? But I will say, again, unbelievable opportunity for our players to learn too. And we sold it to our players by saying this. We're going to work around this young lady during the Sabbath, which meant some nights the men were playing basketball in the arena in a game, and we would be practicing in Fetterman because it was the Sabbath. It was the only time I could practice with my team. Okay? It didn't mean I didn't like the men's team. But we would come out after our practice was over and try to cheer them on. That was one of my favorite memories. Okay? One of my other favorite memories was this past season. Watching a kid, Quenisha Lockett, who came from Omaha, Nebraska, who didn't get recruited by hardly anyone, who wore a t-shirt on her club team because they couldn't afford uniforms, walk into an arena on a big stage and help us and play her mind out not only in the conference tournament against BG, which that doesn't disappoint any of us, right? But to also watch her perform against Iowa State when all the lights were on and it's very difficult. The courage that showed, the discipline that showed, but also the humility because her teammates love her, because she is one of the most incredible kids you will ever meet. And I'm sure if I ask a lot of you that are on that wall over there, what was your background? What was your upbringing? I'm sure not all of you came with a silver spoon in your mouth. But I think the tale of college, what Toledo teaches us, is that you can achieve anything here if you just put your mind to it. Quenisha Lockett has proven that to my team. And that's why I'm so glad that she's back, along with the rest of those kids, because they're amazing to coach. But I will say to all of you, thank you for leading the way. Thank you for being great ambassadors to our program. Thank you for showing our players that it's possible. You know, Dr. Postal talked about the fact that all my players have mentors in their field of study. We do that because I want them to see someone who's accomplishing things ahead of them so they know it's possible. All of you are making it possible for not only our student athletes, but all of our athletes. Don't forget that. Please don't even know, or don't lose the fact that we respect the heck out of all of you, and we are so proud. This is my first time ever at this event, all right? Probably because I had to wear a dress, but I'm so proud and so excited to be here because at football games, I've always listened to all the accomplishments with great pride, and I've shown them to our players that they could too do something if they put their mind to it. So, you know, what I will say to all of you distinguished alums is just keep paying it forward. Keep taking all those lessons, all those hard knocks, you know, all those things that were difficult to get to where you are today and reaching back and help somebody at this university do the same. Because it's really, really easy for us to get really busy in our lives. And I tell you what, I listened to most of you speak on your video, and most of you are already doing that. And I think that's just incredible. We talk to our kids about doing the same thing. Invest, improve, inspire. Those are the 3 words we talk about in our program a lot. Invest, get better, improve. You know, invest the time, improve, and then reach back and help somebody else do it. You know, a lot of you on your video talked about making sure that you got out of your comfort zone. When I was growing up, I had to run 5 miles to go to college. I'd never ran more than 2 miles in my life. I thought 5 miles was a marathon. So my mother, who'd never ran her life, told me she was going to help me. So we lived out in the country, and she said, Tricia, honey, I'm going to drive behind you. And I said, this is going to work out real well. So after about 2 miles of running, I bent over, and I'd had enough. So I started to get back in the car, and I heard click. And I said, you did not. And so then she starts honking the horn. So all my neighbors in the country, they all live about a mile apart. They're all starting to come out like, why is Jeanette honking the horn? And she said, you're going to finish. And I was so embarrassed that I did. I ran the whole 5 miles, and I wouldn't speak to her for 2 weeks. But when I got to college, I ran the best 5-mile time of all my freshmen. I would imagine that many of you distinguished alums can reach back and think of a professor, a friend, a colleague, someone who pushed you like my mother. I hope that you enjoyed them just as much as I did. But I will say, I wouldn't be where I am without them. And this education is something that we can all be proud of. And I hope that you continue to think about it as you go through this weekend. The last quote that I want to leave you with is this. When you learn, teach. This is by Maya Angelou. When you get, give. Continue paying it forward to the next generation and keep the University of Toledo growing, expanding, and thriving. If your experience was impactful, consider sharing your time, your talent, and your treasure with us. We need you. More importantly, our students need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. We are so fortunate to have you on our campus, and I believe I speak for everyone in this room when we wish you and your team much success this season. Please accept this small token of our appreciation for being with us tonight. And now to begin recognizing the distinguished alumni we are here to honor. Since their time on campus, they've been trailblazers in their respective fields, contributors to the greater good of the communities in which they live and serve, role models for generations of leaders to come, and ambassadors of our great university. Hopefully you all had a chance to take a look at the longer video that we shared before tonight to really get to know our awardees. So the video we're going to show tonight is we asked each awardee to share with us what this award means to them.
Wow. Still, I'm surprised.
I'm obviously quite honored, but I'm also baffled.
It is an honor to receive this award. I was quite surprised when I got the phone call.
It feels surreal.
Well, I am so humbled. It's so incredible.
I would say it's a tremendous honor.
It means a great deal. I'm very humbled and honored by it.
As a professional, it is everyone's dream to be recognized and awarded for their exemplary work.
Oh, to be honored by one's peers is probably the finest award one can receive.
It's actually really amazing.
Oh, it's such an honor.
This is an amazing honor.
Oh, that was quite a tremendous encouragement.
It means a lot, but most importantly, to know who I am.
Oh gosh, you know, so much of what I did in my career at the university, I did behind the scenes. You know, it's something that's going out and collecting records and helping researchers. Those are not the things that are, you know, flashy or end up, you know, in getting publicity. But so to have someone recognize that work in a public way is just so heartwarming.
This is my life. The things I do have fortunately fallen into place. I've had unbelievable mentors. I've had extraordinary people to work with over the years. And so receiving this award is for all of that and for all of them.
I see it as not just an award for myself, but also an award for the various people behind the scenes in these organizations that are doing the work every day. You know, I've been the person behind the scenes doing the work, and you know, it is a thankless job, but being able to not just accept this award on behalf of myself, but also all the student veterans of America, especially Rocket alumni that served in the military, I think it's a great honor.
Since it is a dream or goal, people work hard to achieve it. This recognition of being the distinguished alumni for the College of Education is one of the highest honors an alum can receive. I am humbled by being selected to receive this award. It truly is a dream come true.
I think about coming to the university, visiting the university as a high school senior, and I fell in love with the campus. I was on a bus tour with a bunch of students from my high school, and I still, at that time, I wasn't sure of myself. I didn't know if I could make it at the university. And so to eventually earn 3 degrees at the University of Toledo, to have a great career at the university and beyond, and to receive this recognition is something I never ever would have dreamed of.
I'm a first-generation college student, and so to be given the opportunity that really Toledo has instilled in me, just the skills and the confidence. Toledo really opened my mind and opened doors for me and given me the confidence. So, I mean, it's an absolute honor. I certainly wouldn't be here without that kind of experience.
Also an inspiration, because I have been in Toledo for decades, and I always just thought, I'm just an average student, average graduate as an alumni, and I love this campus very much. It's a beautiful campus, and it has beautiful people.
For me, being, again, the first to go to school, the first to graduate, the first to go to graduate school and so forth, I feel like that this is so little about me and so much about all the people who've made contributions to my path. My parents, my wife, my daughter, all the professors I've had, all the mentors I've had along the way.
Certainly, I feel in so many ways a validation of the dedication, the effort and work that I've put in over the years. But I also think it's a reflection about sort of the tremendous contribution that so many through the university have laid in the formative sort of ways that I have thought about the work and the contributions that I've been able to make to the field.
I've loved the law, and I would seriously ask students to consider the challenges that a law career provides, and perhaps be able to find happiness in it.
To have this award, the award I'm receiving, named after Dan Saevig, somebody who I worked with on many of the projects that I did over the years, it's just such a great honor, and I hope that Dan feels that I am deserving of this award named for him.
To me, it means that my peers, that others, whether it's peers, colleagues, believe that what I have done in my career since graduating at the University of Toledo has been impactful and meaningful.
I look back at my time at UT and think about the classmates that I graduated with, and in fact, some of the young physicians and nurses who enter Rainbow and McDonald today, who Toledo was their undergrad. I just have a great appreciation for the depth and breadth of the student population at UT.
It's an honor. Simply saying it's an honor, but I'd like to share that, hey guys still in school or ready to be graduating or maybe looking for a job. I wasn't at the top of the class. I mean, I was not really a so-called like straight A students. No, I was really busy just simply following the textbooks and all those assignments. But I'm sure I'll have some additional chance to talk about other essence. Well, give it a try. Don't forget, even if you are not getting like best in the class, sure, you'll be able to become one of the selected person.
I think that a lot of people view me as being pretty successful, and I coach a lot and I mentor a lot of people. And I think what a little secret that I guess I'll let out that not too many people know, although I share pretty openly, is when I was a medical student at the University of Toledo, I struggled. So it was not, I was one of those very classic people who everything had always come easy to me. I had always gotten A's and everything, was doing very little work. And then all of a sudden I'm in medical school and you're surrounded by all these crazy intelligent people. And I learned that I had no idea how to study. So I passed gross anatomy at University of Toledo by 1 point. And you know, so like literally. And you know, and I had some other struggles along the way too. So I think it's just really this amazing story of that when you're surrounded by people who are really there for your education and they really want to support you as they did me, really anything is possible. And so that is definitely an example, you know, of that.
It really inspires me to do more. I still feel like I haven't done enough. I haven't contributed enough. So this award, this honor, really just inspires me to continue to do more. And it's a signal of my commitment to the University of Toledo and how much I love the university.
You go through your day to day and you think you're doing a good job and that you're making a difference, but sometimes it's nice to hear that people really do feel that you are making that impact.
To be considered a distinguished alum of a university that I hold in such esteem, it's surreal to me. It really is. Even today, as I stand here, it still doesn't feel real.
To be honored with a Distinguished Alumni Award is incredibly humbling, and I'm very, very grateful.
The university has taught me equality. People cared about the others very much. I still remember in 1989, after the Tiananmen massacre, every professor in the department asked me about it. They were very concerned. They really show they are not just some professors in a box teaching physics and astronomy. They cared about the whole world. They care about the well-being of the people. It is this inspiration made me keep going forward. And also, since I travel all over the world, I do think people here, they have a good life, but they do like share this good sense with outside people, including international and foreign students like I was.
This not only, to me, acknowledges my own achievements, but also I think highlights the importance of the research, the approaches that I initially encountered and now have been able to advocate for in myself. And it certainly continues to motivate me to continue pushing the boundaries and striving for excellence in the field as we go forward.
The nurturing, I think, of the UT environment, the campus activities, and the depth of the education, it's meant the world, and you know, it's an honor to receive the award.
And that's important to me, what I stand for, period. Beyond that, I don't want anything else.
The honorees will each receive a blown glass award created by local artist Tom Unger. Tom is the founder and designer at Tuck Creative LLC. Glass blowing is a unique skill, and no one piece is exactly the same as another. We work with Tom for the second year in a row to design a special award with custom handmade base for each honoree. Like the honorees, each work of art is priceless. Thank you, Tom. I will ask Dr. Postal to please join me on stage as we begin introducing our amazing awardees. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree from the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Toledo in English Literature. Her liberal arts background in creative writing, art, and theater prepared her for a spectrum of opportunities. She spent her career as a graphic designer and production artist, as a creator of large-scale fabric hangings for public and corporate buildings, and as a volunteer committed to the service of many nonprofit organizations. This filled her life with rewarding achievements for nearly 5 decades. Supportive encouragement from parents and instructors freed her to realize that her imagination, creativity, and problem-solving skills could be applied to every area of interest. Projects that demand innovation reinforce her belief that, like artwork, there are endless creative possibilities for a resolution. This belief challenged her to chair the Northwest Ohio Hospice Inpatient Facility Committee design the graphics for Toledo's first life flight helicopter, create a 25-foot hanging for the Rhodes Tower in Columbus, and chair many committees for the Arts Commission. She is currently the co-chair of the Art and Public Places Committee for the City of Toledo. Her belief in enriching the lives of others through beautification of the community with public sculptures directs this work. Please join me in congratulating the College of Arts and Letters 2023 Distinguished Alum, Patricia Levy. Joining her on stage is the Interim Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, Dr. Melissa Gregory. You can go this way. This is fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Our next awardee has experience ranging from retail to global multinational corporation business relations. After earning his MBA in 1991 from the University of Toledo, he began his financial services career as a city court management associate and worked his way up to vice president. Throughout his accomplished career, he has held such titles as Senior Director of Sales and Marketing for BMW Financial Services Korea, Inc., Managing Director of BMW Finance Company in Seoul, South Korea, Country Manager and the first CEO of AIG United Guarantee Insurance Asia Ltd., Director of Marketing and Business Development for the North Asia region of Alliance World Partners, Managing Partner of Automotive, Financial Services, and Regulatory Relations at Eugene & Company, Director of Business Development for the Israel Economic and Trade Office at the Embassy of Israel in Seoul, South Korea, and CEO of Toyota Financial Services Korea, where he retired from last September. He is also credited with helping to establish the first microcredit bank in Korea. In June of 2023, the Ministry of Economy and Innovation of the Republic of Lithuania appointed him the first Economy and Commerce Officer to the Republic of Korea. Together with the Embassy of Lithuania in the Republic of Korea, he is developing bilateral economic cooperation in various investments between the two countries. Please join me in congratulating the John B. and Lillian E. Neff College of Business and Innovation 2023 Distinguished Alum, Michael Chung. Joining him on stage is the Dean of the John B. and Lillian E. Neff College of Business and Innovation, Dr. Ann Bayless. Thank goodness we have two stairs going opposite directions. Our next honoree is a native of Toledo. He earned his PhD in Higher Education Administration with a minor in law from UToledo and currently serves as the Senior Vice President of Business and Finance and Treasurer for Siena Heights University in Adrian, Michigan. Previously, he held executive-level positions at Lawrence Technical University and the Medical College of Ohio, as well as numerous faculty appointments. In his various roles, he has led and participated in innovation and transformation processes involving mergers and acquisitions, capital strategies, and comprehensive expansion programs. A respected peer reviewer and team chair for the Higher Learning Commission, he has mentored peer reviewers and team chairs and helped create the Financial Review Panel. In 2018, he received the HLC Outstanding Service Award and was elected to its Board of Trustees, where he serves on the Strategic Planning and Finance Committees. Among other involvements, he is a member of the board of Mount Marty University, a faculty member for the University of Central Oklahoma's Educators Leadership Academy, and a member of the Midwest Semiconductor Network Steering Committee. He served on the UToledo Alumni Association board from 2010 to 2019, including as board chair from 2017 to 2018, and the UT Foundation Board during that same year. His community involvements include Hospice of Lenawee, Adrian First United Methodist Church, and Habitat for Humanity of Lenawee County. Please join me in congratulating the Judith Herb College of Education 2023 Distinguished Alum, Dr. Lee Johnson. Joining Dr. Johnson on stage is the Dean of the Judith Herb College of Education, Dr. Ray Whitty. He is a distinguished professor emeritus from Northeastern University. He taught in the College of Electrical Engineering for 35 years before retiring in 2016. During his time at the university, he taught classes in electronic circuits, circuit analysis, motors, electromagnetics, electronic materials, computer logic circuits, and magnetism. Prior to his role at NU, he was employed at the Naval Research Laboratory as a research physicist, where he formulated the science of stealth materials and the physics of novel magnetic, dielectric, and semiconductor materials. At NU, he established a world-class laboratory for developing new materials grown at the atomic scale. He is the author of 5 non-scientific books and 5 scientific books, and is recognized as a historian aficionado, highlighting the events of World War II in Naples, Italy. He holds over 25 patents and has authored more than 500 publications in major scientific journals. He also serves as president of Purple Inc., which provides consulting services regarding material science and microwave, electronic, recording, computer, and optical technologies. Originally from Avella, Italy, he immigrated to the United States at the age of 11. Please join me in congratulating the College of Engineering 2023 Distinguished Alum, Dr. Carmina Vittoria. Dr. Vittoria was unable to join us tonight, so accepting the award on his behalf is the Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Michael Toole. Dan, can you Photoshop him in? She is a professor of early childhood at the University of South Florida and coordinates the early childhood doctoral program in the College of Education. She also holds affiliate faculty status in learning design and technology, as well as qualitative research. She conducts participatory research to explore young children's civic engagement through multiple literacies and studies the intersection of technology and the pedagogy of inquiry in the early years with a focus on children's affordances of ICT innovations. She also has led international studies on integrating social justice and child advocacy into early childhood teacher preparation. Her internationally recognized work on the integration of digital play with tangible technologies in the early childhood environment has informed the design of digital resources in classroom pedagogies. Her findings provide insight as to how preschool children develop spatial reasoning and transversal competencies, including problem solving, inquiry, and computational thinking and communication skills as they play with tangible technologies. Her research on cyber citizenship spans over 2 decades and has sought to optimize the engagement of young students' access and use of digital technologies by preparing children and youth to question information sources and assess their legitimacy, engage in critical decision-making to inform constructive choices and behaviors, and evaluate messages intended to manipulate beliefs and actions. She studies the effects of cyber literacy and concepts of cyber citizenship on risk and decision-making behaviors with digital technologies. She's authored over 130 publications and has extensively disseminated her research, delivering keynote addresses worldwide. She's been the principal investigator on numerous grants from organizations such as the Spencer Foundation, the Library of Congress, the Florida Department of Health, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to develop innovative solutions that promote young children's well-being and educational outcomes. Please join me in congratulating the College of Health and Human Services 2023 Distinguished Alum, Dr. Eileen Burson. Joining her on stage is the Dean of the College of Health and Human Services, Dr. Mark Merrick. He is currently the Vice President and Treasurer of Arrow Electronics. He is a finance and strategy executive with 24 years of experience in treasury, acquisitions, and divestitures, financial planning and analysis, and corporate strategy. His expertise spans capital markets, investor relations, and corporate finance. Prior to joining Arrow Electronics, he served as treasurer and head of investor relations at Western Union, where he was responsible for financing the firm, directing investments, managing foreign exchange and cash management, and coordinating the company's interactions with the investment community. As Chief Strategy Officer of Western Union Business Solutions, he was responsible for leading the formulation and execution of the division's strategy, including new market entry, product expansion, partnerships, and alliances for $400 million revenue B2B payments business unit. He also served as Chief of Staff to the CFO, leading the company's corporate strategy development. Prior to Western Union, he worked for Lucent Technologies from 1998 to 2006 in its microelectronics division, mergers and acquisitions, partnerships, and treasury. He is a chartered financial analyst and a bachelor's degree earner in the College of Business Administration, majoring in finance from the University of Toledo. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 Jessup Scott Honors College Distinguished Alum, Brad Winbigler. No, that's not Brad. Brad will be with us here tomorrow.
Brad's on his way.
But
He's on his way.
Doug, this is my show. Accepting the award on his behalf is Mr. Doug Rammel, friend of Brad and 1990 graduate of the honors program.
Brad is much more deserving than I am. So.
An Ohio native, she graduated from the University of Toledo School of Law with a Juris Doctorate cum laude in 1966, while serving for 2 years as assistant to the university's Dean of Women. Few law firms hired women attorneys in 1966, so she began her career as a real estate title company. 6 years later, she was hired by the only local law firm that hired women, and in 1976 was asked to join the Andersons, a large local agribusiness. This led to an outstanding 30-year career, over half of which was spent as vice president, general counsel, and secretary. While busy with work and family, professional and community service have also been important. She was only the second woman president in the first 150 years of the Toledo Bar Association. She also served as a delegate to the Ohio State Bar Association, as well as the American, Women's, and Corporate Bar Associations. She was secretary of the Wittenberg University Board and on the Mercy College Board. She has served as vice chair at the Toledo Port Authority, treasurer at the Toledo Regional Growth Partnership, chair of the Sylvania Township Zoning Commission, chair of the St. Vincent Mercy Hospital Board, chair of the Greater Toledo Community Foundation, and has helped with YWCA, Toledo Museum of Art, and Goodwill Industries programs while serving the Anderson Foundation and 4 other foundations. She recently was honored by the university's Eberly Center as a pioneer and influential woman. Please join me in congratulating the College of Law 2023 Distinguished Alum, Beverly McBride. Joining her on stage is the interim dean of the College of Law, Rebecca Zitlow. Early in her career, she was selected to become a National Faculty Development Scholar by the Academic Pediatric Association and completed advanced training in teaching and educational methods. She has since completed 2 additional training programs in medical education, as well as a certification in research. She has served in a variety of roles in her 20-plus years as an executive leader spanning both the clinical and educational missions. Currently, she is the Senior Dean of the Schools of Medicine and Health Professions at Baylor College of Medicine. In this role, she oversees the continuum of medical education, medical students, dual degree programs, residents, fellows, and continuing professional development for physicians, as well as the health professions programs, DNP, nurse anesthesia, physician assistant, orthotics, and prosthetics, and genetic counseling. She successfully led the LCME visit that resulted in the School of Medicine being taken off probation, is overseeing a major UME curricular reform effort, and is opening Baylor's first regional medical school campus in Temple, Texas. The GME program is one of the largest in the country, with well over 100 ACGME accredited programs and over 70 Texas Medical Board programs. Numerous new programs have come to fruition in her tenure, such as the Division of Medical Education Research and Scholarship, the Humanities Expression and Arts Lab and Discovery, Integration Success, Community and Outreach. Her research interests focus on medical education, and she has been the recipient of several medical education grants and has published and presented widely. She has held a variety of national leadership positions with organizations such as the Council on Medical Student Education and Pediatrics, the Alliance for Clinical Education, the Liaison Committee on Medical Education, and the American Association of Medical Colleges. She is also the recipient of several teaching awards and mentoring awards. In 2020, she founded Christner Strategies, consultative services focusing on executive coaching, LCME accreditation, and event speaking. Please join me in congratulating the College of Medicine and Life Sciences 2023 Distinguished Alum, Dr. Jennifer Christner. Joining her on stage is the Dean of the College of Medicine and Life Sciences, Dr. Chris Cooper. She is the executive director of the Wei Jingxing Foundation, a prominent Chinese human rights and democracy NGO, well known on the world stage for more than 20 years. She has been elected as the Secretary General for the Overseas Chinese Democracy Coalition, a global umbrella association of Chinese democracy and human rights organizations. She was the council chair and president for Independent Federation of Chinese Students and Scholars in the USA, and is the past president for the Global Chinese Students and Scholars Union. She was a nuclear scientist and later worked for more than a decade as a senior optical engineer and engineering consultant in high-tech fields, specifically in machine vision and quality control industries. Born in Shanghai to an intellectual family of 500 years, she entered college without going through high school. She ranked 3rd amongst the 10,000 high school graduates in the city of Hefei on the National Entrance Exam. During her college years, she was the first female university champion of Go, which is Chinese chess, and won a silver medal in the Anhui Provincial College competitions and entered the national level against professional players. She also co-founded and was elected as the president of the Chinese Student Union at the University of Toledo. As a recognized human rights and democracy activist, she's been invited to speak at and hosted events on different world stages, from the US Congress to the European Parliament and the United Nations. She has been giving frequent interviews and commentaries to various news media outlets. Her articles and writings are published in various languages, including English, Chinese, and German. Please join me in congratulating the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics 2023 Distinguished Alum, Siping Anderson Huang. Joining her on stage is the Dean of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Dr. Mark Seeger. She has served as president of University Hospital's Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in Cleveland, Ohio, and University Hospital's McDonald Women's Hospital since 2012. She is also the Rainbow Babies and Children's Foundation Chair in Leadership and Innovation. She has served with a number of regional and national programs related to the health and wellness of children and families, including the American Hospital Association's Section for Maternal and Child Health Governing Council and the Ohio Children's Hospital Association Board. She has also led the University Hospitals of Cleveland United Way campaigns and served as a Greater Cleveland Healthcare Cabinet member for the United Way and board member of Ronald McDonald House of Cleveland. She has been honored as the YWCA of Greater Cleveland Woman of Professional Excellence and American Red Cross Medical Hero of Greater Cleveland. In 2011, she was awarded the Michael T. Jives Prize for Excellence in Obstetrics, and in 2013, she was honored at Women of Excellence Cleveland Court Club. Please join me in congratulating the College of Nursing 2023 Distinguished Alum, Patricia DePompe. Ms. DePompe was unable to join us this evening, so accepting the award on her behalf is the Interim Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Janet Powell. She earned her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Toledo in 1997. Subsequently, she completed a clinical pharmacy residency in family medicine at the Medical University of South Carolina. She was a faculty member at Wilkes University for 2 years and then on faculty at the Medical University of South Carolina for 19 years. She served as Assistant Dean for Curriculum for 4 of those years and as Department Chair of Clinical Pharmacy and Outcome Sciences for 6 years. She is currently the Senior Vice President of Professional Development, Chief Academic Officer with the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. She was a finalist for the South Carolina Governor's Teacher of the Year Award in 2013, recipient of the American College of Clinical Pharmacy's Education Award in 2015, recipient of the Medical University of South Carolina Teaching Excellence Award for Educator Lecturer in 2012, and recipient of the Outstanding Clinician Award in 2011, also at the Medical University of South Carolina. She was named Preceptor of the Year in 2006 and has been named Professor of the Year 10 times over her career. She has published over 60 peer-reviewed publications and book chapters, is a Fellow of the American College of Clinical Pharmacy, and a board-certified pharmacotherapy specialist. She's an active member of a variety of professional organizations, including AACP, ACCP, APHA, and IPEC. Please join me in congratulating the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences 2023 Distinguished Alum, Dr. Kelly Ragucci. Joining her on stage is the Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. Pam Heaton. Founder and president of For College for Life, he has been a leading national voice on the topics of healthy masculinity and personal development for more than a decade. He travels the country, both physically and virtually, to work with campuses and organizations who aim toward the extraordinary. Born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, he is a first-generation college graduate holding a bachelor's and 2 master's degrees, despite once being advised college isn't for everyone. He is a proud fraternity man, a member of his chapter's Hall of Fame at the University of Toledo, and the creator of the Cornelius Scholarship for first-generation students. He's been recognized with national and international awards for educational content development and delivery as a spokesmo, their word, not his, for his work with the Movember Foundation. Please join me in congratulating the University College 2023 Distinguished Alum, Casey Cornelius. Joining him on stage is the Dean of the University College, Dr. Barb Kopp-Miller. Please join me in congratulating all of our college awardees. I do want to take a moment to recognize one other dean in the room who does not have an awardee tonight, but he is Dean of the University of Toledo Libraries, Thomas Atwood. I will ask Dr. Postal to please remain on stage with me, and now ask Mr. Jeff Williams, President of the Alumni Association Board, to join us as we honor our Alumni Association awardees. The Edward H. Schmidt Outstanding Young Alum Award is presented to a graduate who is 40 years of age or younger in recognition of outstanding achievement in his or her field of endeavor while providing service to the community. If he had to describe his career and life's work, he would say he's a supply chain professional, servant leader, and veteran advocate. Throughout his 10-plus year professional career, he has worked in a variety of supply chain and purchasing roles in the automotive, glass, and electrical industries. He's been recognized for his strong work ethic and dedication, even being selected as Exemplary Employee of the Year in his first year on the job. A proud patriot, he was a senior in high school when the attacks of September 11, 2001 happened. He felt called to serve and enlisted in the United States Navy shortly after. He would go on to serve all over the world and was honorably discharged in 2006. His passion to serve would continue throughout his time at the University of Toledo. He was a founding member of the University of Toledo Student Veterans of America and would later serve as president. He has served on the advisory board of the UT Military Service Center, Heroes in Action, and Task Force 20. Additionally, he has also volunteered countless hours with Operation Enduring Warrior, Reads Across America, Honor Flight, and the Cherry Street Mission. As an Eagle Scout, he recognizes the importance of giving back. He's led fundraising activities that have resulted in thousands of dollars being donated back to the Boy Scouts of America through their Friends of Scouting program. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 Edward H. Schmidt Outstanding Young Alum, Joel Whitcomb. I would like to ask the namesake of the next award, Mr. Dan Saevig, to please join us on stage to help present the award to our next honoree. The Daniel J. Saevig Blue Tea Award is presented to a UToledo Alumni Association member who has made outstanding contributions to the progress and development of the university and the Alumni Association. She retired from her position as University Archivist and Director of the Ward M. Kennedy Center for Special Collections at the University of Toledo in 2017 after 31 years of service. Upon retirement, she was granted the title of Professor Emerita of Library Administration. In her position at the university, she was responsible for collection and preservation of the university's rare books, manuscripts, and university archives. She worked to expand the center's collections to include the historical records of many Toledo corporations, including Libby Owens Ford, Owens Illinois, Owens Corning, Dana Corporation, and the Andersons. She also established a collection documenting the history of disability in the Toledo community in collaboration with the Ability Center of Toledo. She organized over 20 exhibitions that interpreted the center's collection for the general public. Several of the exhibitions and accompanying catalogs received national awards from the Society of American Archivists and the American Library Association. For the last 2 years of her tenure at UToledo, she also served as interim director of university libraries and as director of the University of Toledo Press. She is the author of numerous monographs and peer-reviewed articles on aspects of Toledo history. This includes her most recent book, An Institution for the Promoting of Knowledge, the University of Toledo at 150, which received the Bowling Green State University, man, that's hard to say, Center for Archival Collections Local History Publication Award. Her book, The Glass City, Toledo and the Industry That Built It, published by the University of Michigan Press in 2015, also received that award in 2015. She's a frequent speaker to local community groups on topics related to Toledo history. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 Daniel J. Saevig Blue Tea awardee, Barbara Floyd. The Gold Tea Award is presented to a graduate in recognition of outstanding achievement in his or her field of endeavor while providing leadership and noteworthy service to the community. The University of Michigan Board of Regents appointed him as Vice President for Student Life on March 26, 2020. As a senior leader at one of the foremost public institutions in the country, he's helped to transform UM's approach to holistically addressing student health and well-being, leading to the formation of a collective impact group and the signing of the International Okanagan Chapter for Health Promoting Universities. Previously, he was the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs at Iowa State University, where he provided strategic oversight for the large Student Affairs Division responsible for enrollment, student success, and overall student well-being. His time in senior leadership at Iowa State was preceded by leadership positions at two-year colleges in Ohio and Michigan, where he was the Executive Director of Student Success and Retention at Cincinnati State Community College, Dean of Student Development at Rhodes State College, and Dean of Admission, Retention, and Student Life at Washtenaw Community College. His career in higher education began after a 9-year career in professional sales with his return to his alma mater, the University of Toledo. At UToledo, his leadership roles included Interim Assistant Dean of Students, Director of the African American Student Enrichment Office, and progressive leadership positions in admissions that culminated in his appointment as Director of First-Year Admissions. He has served in numerous leadership roles with professional associations in higher education, including ACT, the Ohio Association of College Admissions Counselors, the College Board, the National Association of College Personnel Administrators, the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities, the American Association of Universities, and the Melvin C. Terrell Educational Foundation. For 39 years, he's been an active member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, including advising college chapters at UToledo and Iowa State and leading 3 different alum chapters. He's a proud member of the University of Toledo Alumni Association Board of Trustees. On a personal note, it's truly an honor to be able to introduce our final awardee tonight. He is someone I've looked up to and admired since I was a student in the admissions office here at UToledo. When we think about setting examples for our current students, he is one that set the example of being the consummate professional and a person that always did things the right way. Thank you for the impact you had on my career, and thank you for the countless lives you have touched because of your passion for students and their success. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 Gold Tea awardee, Dr. Martina Harmon. I have asked Dr. Harmon to share a few remarks at this time on behalf of all the awardees before we close for the evening.
President Postal, university faculty and administration, the Board of Trustees, both past and present, the Alumni Association and University Foundation, all of the organizations that are here, family and friends, and most importantly, my fellow awardees. good evening. I am so grateful for this tremendous honor representing such an incredible group of awardees. Let's give them a big round of applause again. But I want to give a special thanks to Billy Pierce, who, as he mentioned, was actually a student employee in admissions when I was there about 25 years ago. Now, granted, I was 12 and Billy was 5. But it's truly incredible to see him in such a key leadership role now, not because I can't believe it, but because it's such a great example of the University of Toledo's impact on students. And there are so many amazing examples of how UToledo develops its students in this room tonight. Just look at this incredible crowd of accomplished alumni and awardees. I am so incredibly humbled to stand before you and to be invited to be recognized with you, all of the awardees. And on behalf of the awardees, I thank the selection committee and the Alumni Association for recognizing us in this special way. None of us have ever forgotten what UToledo has done for us, and none of us will ever forget this evening either. Our achievement and victories can be traced back to the lessons we learned and the support we received from our alma mater. Now, this is where I might get a little emotional. The people that know me know this. Also, people know that my daughter and my son-in-law got married in June, and I cried enough at that event to last me about 5 years, so I'll see how this goes. But I want to thank my family, my daughters, Sydney and Adrian, who are in the audience, and my parents, Beverly and James, who are deceased. It's very special to have Sydney and Adrian here with me tonight, and I know my mom and dad are with me in spirit. I want to thank my friends near and far who have supported me throughout my journey, especially the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity for their support. I thought they might call out or something, but they didn't. They surprised me. And you can tell many of my brothers are here tonight, and I want you to know that Alpha Phi Alpha has a very special place in my heart because it was the first group where I became a leader, when I began to learn the vital skills that have brought me to where I am today. And while I'm celebrating family and friends, I also want to commend the family and friends of my fellow awardees. My fellow awardees, I ask you to join me in a round of applause to recognize our circles of support for all they've done to make this night possible. See, they are our family, our friends, our mentors, sponsors, and guides, the people who kept us going when sometimes the going got tough. They're the ones that allowed us to grow and learn and make the sort of difference in the world that will impact others for years to come. And whether these folks are physically in the room tonight or here in photos and memory, their impact on us has been indelible. On behalf of myself and my fellow awardees, we thank you. We need you, and we love you. I want to briefly reflect on my journey from being a first-generation college student at the University of Toledo to being vice president at a major public university just a little north of here. Now, be kind, because my Wolverines, my colleagues, are in the house tonight, and we're so glad they're here. Give them a round of applause. And Coach Cullop, I will be at that game. You can count on that. All right. And when I stepped on foot on this campus as a new student in the fall of 1983, I would never have imagined that I would be standing here today receiving this honor. I was a first-generation college student, and I wasn't sure I would progress to my second year. I would not have been successful without a few key staff and faculty members who had a meaningful role in my success. There are far too many to name, but I want to highlight the man whom this building is named for. Dr. Lancelot C.A. Thompson was the, yes, please applaud. Was the first vice president for student affairs and the first black vice president at the University of Toledo and a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I had to throw that in. I didn't know at the time that I would follow a similar career path, but I watched how he cared about people, how he cared about me, and I wanted to make the same impact on people. You see, the University of Toledo changed my life. It was on this campus that I learned that I could not just survive some classes, but I could thrive in higher education. I learned to be a leader, a change maker. That's what our alma mater does for us. The University of Toledo gives students an opportunity and transforms them into the best version of themselves and sends us out into the world to make a better place. The impact is felt locally and globally, and it lives on through past, present, and future students. I want to encourage all of the fellow alums tonight, our family, our friends, to continue to support the current and future University of Toledo students. Support the future of this city and our country and our planet. I'm getting a little deep here. By contributing whatever you can give of your time, talents, and financial resources to this institution. You see, I'll be doing the same because what drives me in all that I do is simple yet powerful. I still want to do more. I want to close tonight by thanking everyone here again on behalf of myself and my fellow awardees for making this night possible. We are truly grateful and humbled to be recognized among our great institution's many brilliant and impactful alums. To my fellow awardees, congratulations. Let's soak all of this in. You know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but it's been a long road here, but we've made it. Now, before I go, I have to say, go Rockets, beat Northern Illinois, and TOL. One more time, TOL. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Which way do I go? Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Harmon. Please join me in congratulating all of our Alumni Association awardees. As we prepare to close, there are a few people that I need to thank. The nominating committee with the Alumni Association and the selection committees within each academic college that spent countless hours reviewing nominations and information from our prospect research team and the foundation to identify our awardees tonight. Mr. Tom Zapecki, Director of Media Services in our Department of Communication, his team, and his students for their exceptional work with the production of the full-length awardee video shared prior to tonight, the shorter video shown this evening, the coordination of the visuals, and for making sure those that could not join us could watch via live stream. Once again, Mom and Dad, hello, I know you're watching. And thank you for always being willing to flow with my crazy ideas and adjustments. Thank you to Great Lakes Sound for ensuring the sound's working optimally tonight. Certainly appreciate you being here. Thank you to the Chartwell's catering team for tonight's meal and our servers. We appreciate you. Thank you to the Lancelot Thompson Student Union staff for working with us to make sure this night was a success. Thanks to Carly Perry, who works with our communications team and the foundation for what you see on the tables. She once again spearheaded the effort to design the program, poster boards, and several other graphic elements you've seen throughout tonight. To my colleagues on the development team, thank you all for your work to make sure our awardees have a great homecoming experience. Thank you to Sam Marshall and Amanda Kaag for all of your help with the event logistics tonight. To my alumni engagement and annual giving team, thank you all so much for your tremendous effort, hard work, and dedication. Tonight's event and the 180+ engagement events don't happen without you. Thank you. A very special thank you to my family for always understanding when Dad has to be away because he's doing what he loves at the place he loves. And to my spouse, Rebecca, who has one of the hardest jobs, managing me, and what we affectionately call our home, Fort Pierce. And finally, thank all of you for your support of the University of Toledo and the University of Toledo Alumni Association. We exist because of our students and our faithful alumni. I hope to see all of you tomorrow at the Schmidt Homecoming Parade, which begins at 10 a.m., in the Kester Alumni Pavilion after the parade for our pregame party, which begins at noon, and in the Glass Bowl at 3:30 as our Rockets take on Northern Illinois. May I ask each of you to rise and turn your attention to the screens. In continuance of what is a Homecoming Gala tradition, and to the words of our alma mater, Fair Toledo, please join me in a final tribute to tonight's distinguished awardees.
In tower shadows, voices now raising to alma mater, golden and blue. Fair Toledo, praise to thee, portal of learning ever be. Hallowed halls we shall revere, vow to keep thy memory dear.
Thank you all for being here with us. Have a safe trip home, and good night.